Finally, New Balance has not just brought back the 991, but have actually updated it. This is the 991 V2. Yeah, take a moment to gaze upon its dad shoeness. But before we get too far into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at calderalab.com, makers of the Face SPF, a truly fragrance-free sunscreen that I took to the Caribbean. Use my promo code FRY15 to save 15% at checkout. The original 991 was the first shoe I ever wore from New Balance. I believe I found them somewhat on sale, maybe at a Famous Footwear in Lawrence, Kansas, while I was in college in 2005. And with that purchase, it truly was the first time I got into being a sneakerhead, as the 991 was very reliable for me, later being replaced by a 992 and a 993, but for the most part, I stick with that 990 line, which comprises most of my daily wear rotation. So late last year, as I was teased with images of the 991 V2, I actually found out too late and was not able to get my hands on a pair. But alas, while I was in Mexico, Kith had a mild restock, and when I got closer to Texas waters, I was able to order a pair. And now the New Balance website has almost a full-size run restocked. Now you're going to call this most basic model gray, but in truth it's dove with alloy and silver. But yeah, let's call it gray with an E, British style, as these are made in England, which I guess testifies to the sus quality. Flakes of glue, which we'll likely be able to brush off without much problem, irregularities in the molded outsole, bizarre fitting, and even a misaligned bonding of the sole and upper. Now, a lot of this looked fine after I wore it for a while, and I was able to correct some of the weird denting in the toe box with a shoe tree. The gray 991 V2 comes with two sets of laces, white and teal. I went with teal. I kind of feel like I want to match the rest of the shoe rather than have the contrasting white. Features wise, where the 991 V2 stands out is the full-length fuel cell midsole. This is the latest compound from New Balance and actually exceeds the coefficient of restitution of Adidas's Boost, making for efficient energy return. Now, originally the 990 line was for elite track purposes, such as dealing crack on the streets of New York City. But for many of us, the 991 was made iconic by being a favored sneaker of Steve Jobs, who bucked tradition wearing them on stage to unveil to the world the latest tech. As such, I'd go as far as to say that the 991 V2 is the latest signature sneaker from Steve Jobs. And at $250, it is priced at business casual attire. There are some heritage running shoe aspects. You have a breathable mesh, pigskin suede, even reflective details, and I like the return to the smaller N. Small logos are timeless and less obnoxious. Turquoise touches aside, these shoes fly under the radar. True to the 991 original, the interior is lined velvety soft, which I have some concerns over the durability, as this is where the shoe will break down, as the heel goes woefully unsecured. Otherwise, the 991 V2 is a plush shoe designed for those who are on their feet all day long. That could have used a slightly wider toe box and does require a break-in period so you don't film yourself walking duck-footed like me. The gray 991 V2 is easily styled in everything except black, so gray joggers and khaki chinos it is. And feel free to mix and match your favorite spring and fall hoodies. I expect to see this 991 V2 among my rotation for years to come.